All right, let's shift our attention now to breaking updates coming in. A fire at the residence of a Delhi High Court judge, Justice Yashwant Verma, has led to the recovery of a massive pile of cash, triggering shockwaves within the judicial circles. The incident, which reportedly happened on the 14th of March, prompted the Supreme Court Collegium, led by the Chief Justice of India, Sanjeev Khanna, to order his immediate transfer to the Allahabad High Court. Justice Varma was reportedly out of town when the fire broke out, prompting his family to call the fire brigade and the police. After the fire was extinguished, officials discovered a huge sum of cash inside one of the rooms. The local police documented the recovery and escalated the matter to senior officials, eventually alerting higher authorities in the government. This development soon reached CJI Sanjeev Khanna, who convened an urgent collegium meeting to discuss the issue. The collegium unanimously decided on Justice Verma's transfer, moving him back to his parent High Court in Allahabad, where he had previously served before being appointed to the Delhi High Court in October 2021. Legal editor Harish Nair is joining us on the broadcast with the details. Harish, a fire broke out at the judge's residence that led to a massive cash haul and then this sudden transfer. Take us through the details and the timeline of the case.
Yes, that's right, Pratibha. In fact, as per sources, the fire that took place on March 14, that is the day of Holi, the fire that broke out in the residential bungalow of a judge resulted in the recovery of a huge pile of cash. And as rightly said, this has sent the shockwaves in judicial corridors, and this has forced the Supreme Court Collegium, led by the Chief Justice of India, Sanjeev Khanna, to decide to transfer him to another High Court. Yesterday, as per sources, the Collegium met and have decided to transfer Justice Yashwant Verma to Allahabad High Court. But when the fire broke out, Justice Yashwant Verma was not in town, and his family members had called the fire brigade and the police. And after the fire was doused, a fire force team found a huge amount of cash inside one of the rooms, leading to, informing the local cops. The police then informed the seniors, who briefed the brass about the accident discovery. And once the news reached the Chief Justice, the Chief Justice Khanna took a very serious view and immediately called for a collegium meeting. That is yesterday. The collegium was unanimous that Justice Verma needed to be transferred immediately, and a decision has been taken to transfer him to his parent High Court, that is the Allahabad High Court. However, according to sources, some members of the collegium felt that just a transfer won't suffice. If he is let off with a transfer, it would not only tarnish the judiciary's image but also erode the trust in the institution. They are of the view that Justice Verma should be asked to resign and at least suspended for the time being pending inquiry. And if inclined, if he declined to do so, an in-house inquiry should be initiated. So now, as of now, even as we are speaking, the Supreme Court Collegium is mulling as to what next steps should be taken. But a big story, in fact, very big development, as a fire at the Delhi High Court judge's house has resulted in recovery of huge pile of cash, and Justice in the Supreme Court Collegium has, decided to, to transfer Justice Yashwant Verma from Delhi High Court to Allahabad High Court, and an inquiry is most likely to be initiated, and we'll have to wait and watch what will be the next course of action.
Okay, all right. This comes amid chorus for more transparency in the legal system. Harish, stay with us. I want to go across to Sabyasachi as well. Sabyasachi, many members of the Collegium also felt that merely transferring the judge would not be sufficient in a case of this magnitude because it could give out a wrong message.
Well, that's right, Pratibha. See, first of all, we are reporting from Arjun Ram Meghwal's residence here in the National Capital, who is a law minister. See, in this regard, the Chief Justice as well as the 5-member collegium also felt that mere transferring the Delhi High Court judge would not send out a good message. In fact, necessary action also needs to be taken in this matter, because somewhere there would be an erode in the trust if just a mere transfer takes place. So clearly, exactly at this particular time when the accidental cash was recovered from the residence of the judge of the Delhi High Court, after which the officials informed the senior officials of the Delhi police, and then it had reached to the government. Now, after that, the government had informed the CGI in this regard, after which the CGI immediately had called for a 5-member collegium to discuss this matter, and all of them were in the view that necessary action needs to be taken in this matter, and just mere transfer is not the solution.
Absolutely. Harish, there has been a call for more transparency in the legal system. Time and again, questions have been raised, which is why members of the collegium have also spoken about stricter action, saying if not, then it could tarnish the judiciary's credibility and also erode public trust in the institution. This is the official bungalow of the judge where the cash had been found. So what next? Is there going to be stricter action taken?
Similar incident in 2008, the infamous cash at door scandal, a packet containing rupees 15 lakh was allegedly delivered to the residence of one judge of Haryana High Court, and turned out to be that it was for another judge. So now this is the second time such an incident is happening. It has been reported, and coming to your question, as per the in-house procedure devised by the Supreme Court in 1999 to deal with allegations of corruption, wrongdoing or impropriety against Constitutional Court judges, as per the rules, Chief Justice on receipt of a complaint seeks a response from the judge first. Then he can set up an in-house probe panel comprising a Supreme Court judge and Chief Justices of 2 High Courts in case he is not satisfied with the response or concludes that the matter requires deeper probe. So in this case, we'll have to wait and watch what kind of further action apart from transfer, Chief Justice of India, Sanjeev Khanna, is planning. And because, as I said earlier, some members of the 5-judge collegium felt that such a serious incident, if let off with a mere transfer, would not only tarnish the judiciary's image, but also erode the trust in the institution. So there are provisions to temporarily suspend this judge or disallow him from handling judicial work. We need to wait and watch how things pan out from here.
Okay, so Harish, we are told the Supreme Court has taken a very serious view of the same, but can the High Court judges be removed? As of now, he has been transferred. Why was the decision taken? And if any stricter action is to be taken, what is the procedure for the same?
Yes, of course, there is an impeachment option for the Parliament. But as the first step towards its removal by the Parliament, as per the in-house procedure, as I earlier said, this procedure was devised by the Supreme Court in 1999 to deal with allegations of corruption, wrongdoing or impropriety against judges. Number one, Chief Justice on receipt of a complaint seeks response of the judge, number one. Number two, he can set up the in-house probe panel comprising of a Supreme Court judge and Chief Justices of 2 High Courts in case he is not satisfied with the response or concludes that the matter requires deeper probe. So, Pratibha, let us wait for next step from the Chief Justice-led collegium. And let's see how things pan out from here now.
Okay, all right. Harish, request you to stay with us. We have senior advocate Swapnil Kothari also on the broadcast with us. Thank you for joining us and good morning, Mr. Swapnil Kothari. This is a case that has shocked the entire country and clearly the legal system as well, with the Supreme Court also taking a serious view. A fire broke out at the Delhi High Court judge, Justice Yashwant Verma's residence, which led to the recovery of a huge pile of unaccounted cash, and now he has been transferred.
Pratibha, good morning. This is absolutely shocking and it's absolutely stigmatic. It's a blot on the judiciary for a judge to have this unaccounted cash. It completely destroys the faith in the judicial system, which is already under pressure because of tremendous amount of litigation and the scarce number of judges that we have. And in fact, even in that scarce number of judges, if we don't have judges of high integrity, then it really leaves little for the imagination for the trust of the 140 crore people that still have a significant amount of faith in the judiciary. Now, he should not be just sent back to the Allahabad High Court. I don't think that is a consolation. That is a very, very limited amount of punishment for that kind of a misdemeanor, or should I say, an absolutely inappropriate conduct. he should be relieved of his services. He should be terminated. There is a procedure in place for that. It's called as an impeachment. There is a parliamentary, a Supreme Court judge can lead the probe with 2 High Court judges, etc., and all of those things. That probe has been spelled out by the Supreme Court in cases of this nature. And let us see what the Chief Justice of India does. But I believe that any shunting back to the Allahabad High Court is just transferring, say, an errant general manager of a 5-star hotel from one to the other. So, it doesn't really cut much ice. It does not repose any faith of the trust in the people back. And I think this should be looked at very, very seriously. And I don't know why even the thought of transferring back to the Allahabad High Court even arises in the mind of the Chief Justice. But, before I make a comment on that, I would like to wait for some time, because I believe this will reach its logical conclusion given the strictness of the judiciary, rather the Supreme Court, that it engages or employs when it comes to conduct of this nature.
Okay, all right. So, Abdul Kothari, thank you for joining us. In fact, several members of the collegium themselves also felt that stricter action was required to avoid tarnishing the reputation of the entire judiciary. We have Sagrika joining us. There are a lot of political reactions as well that are coming in. Yes, Sagrika.
First few set of reactions coming in, Pratibha, because this is a story that has not just shocked the legal fraternity, but also politicians and civil society alike. Rajiv Chandrasekhar, former union minister, goes on to say, when those who are trusted to give justice become merchants for injustice. Now, Pratibha, as you were also saying, there are some members of the collegium who believe that transfer is not enough. There should be action. It has been reported that some are of the view that the Supreme Court Collegium was unanimous when it comes to taking the transfer decision, but some of the judges felt that there should have been more stronger action that should have been taken in this particular case.
Okay, thank you for joining us with those details, Sagrika. Sanket Yanagi, Supreme Court lawyer, also on the broadcast with us. Mr. Yanagi, do you think a mere transfer is enough, or there should be stricter action taken?
First of all, there need to be a thorough inquiry, irrespective of his position. Till then, he should be abstained from performing his official duties, number one. And number two, in my opinion, the action needs to be taken if the explanation is not given in respect of the cash found. And if there is no explanation or sufficient and reasonable explanation given, it is not only the blot of the judiciary, but also the entire institution and institutional integrity having been at stake because of the conduct of a particular judge. He should be hauled for the contempt of court for maligning the respect and integrity of the judiciary and playing with the judiciary's integrity and reputation. So, in my opinion, a stricter action needs to be taken. To start with, an inquiry is a must, and he should be abstained from performing his official duties.
Okay, all right. Stricter action to be taken. Thank you for joining us. In fact, the action of transfer by the collegium has sparked off a big debate and a lot of outrage as well, with many saying that the judge can't be let off so easily and stricter action needs to be taken to give out a bigger message, because it's about the transparency of the judiciary. It's about public trust. Big story on Times Now. We're keeping track of the developments there and continue getting you these legal reactions. Quick break now. We'll be right back.